What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. So by the title, you can tell that I did get second place at a league challenge this past weekend. This Saturday, I went to a winning box, and then I went to a league challenge. Didn't do so hot at the winning box. I did play a Polion Swampert, and I went 1-2, unfortunately. But for the league challenge, I actually played Zoroark Lycanroc, which turned out to be a really good deck. I think it's a really good play because you have like Lycanroc to break. Or no, I say Zoroark Lycanroc. I meant Zoroark Lycanroc. I was gonna play Zoroark Lycanroc because Kevin Baxter and me were talking about it. Mostly just Kevin was. He did fairly well at back-to-back cups with it, but with Lycanroc, you have the ability to bring a Pokemon on the bench, stuff like that. Also, I noticed that at the winning box, there was a bunch of people playing the Buzzwole Garb deck, which I kind of expected. And I know that doesn't have a very favorable matchup for Lycanroc because we did play that in the National Open, or against it in the National Open, I guess. So I went to Lycanroc instead, and while I was driving up to, I guess, up to the Challenger, the winning box, whatever, there was actually Jimmy Pendarvis was on stream, and he was playing the deck as well. And I guess that's what really made me think about it more, was he was playing it on stream, and he showed up and had perfect numbers with like Devoured Field, you know, Zoroark can hit for 130, and then with the Deontay, the Lycanroc can also hit for 130, and you could just bring a Pokemon on the bench, which is very, you know, we know what that card does, and I had played it at a cup last year and won with it, so I'm very familiar with the deck, and I was like, alright, we'll try to play it. And also, what I noticed as well is he was playing actually for Great Ball, and I was like, ooh, that seems really good, because with Great Ball, you can look at the top 7, you can pick any Pokemon there, which means evolutions or basics, which is very good turn 1, because now you're playing 4 Nets for Ultra for Great Ball. And so with that, like turn 1, it's good. You play with Lily, get draw a bunch of cards. Then you get Great Ball, draw more with 7. You get Nest Ball, you get Ultra Ball. And then, no, it doesn't play any Timer Balls. I know you already asked me that. But no, it did not play Timer Ball. The Great Ball is essentially Timer Ball, because what you can do is you can like double trade, and then you can then Great Ball. So you're kind of like at the top like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 11 cards, whatever. You can like draw more. So I like that option a lot. You had like 4 outs. You had 8 outs. I guess like what, 4, 8, 12 outs to get out like your basics turn 1, and then you can just draw into manually, and then later on they're just like trade stuff as well. And then like turn 2, you have 8 outs plus drawing into the cards as well to find your evolutions. So Timer Ball is not played. I'll have a link down below to the Team Fish Knuckles Facebook page where I posted the list. So you can see the list on Team Fish Knuckles, and you can kind of go from there. It's very vanilla. It plays like 4 Zoroark, 4-3 Lycanroc, no Ringaroo, no Tapu Koko, just one straight consistent, and don't want to start a Ringaroo. Like, resource management is good, don't get me wrong. I just don't want to start with it. It played 2 Lele, so not too much. And it did play 2 Kukui as well. That can help you hit numbers for like 130 against the Buzzwole, and then you can hit for 180 against Rayquaza with the Devoured Field, which is definitely the big key there. Doing 180 is nice. So let's go over matches. Let's see what we played against, all that kind of stuff. I know I'm not really looking at the phone. I'm just kind of just talking while I'm driving, because it's a very far drive. But shout out to Chelsea. She talked to me for the majority of the way until we lost service. But round 1, we sit down, we play against, and also I didn't know this, but it was the best 2 out of 3 for a challenge, so that's very, very long. I'll have a link to Vans. It's like Vans CCG, that was the store. It was a very nice store, and they did give out a lot of prize packs, and we'll talk about that here in a second as well. So round 1, we sit down and we're playing against a Zoroark Lycanroc deck. I actually didn't know what it was because he started Buzzwole that game, Buzzwole, then like a Rockro from the bench. So my turn, I'm like, alright, we have to go like heavy aggro Lycanroc, right? If we don't, we just lose, whatever, because our Zoroarks get knocked out. So turn 1, I'm able to get the energy on a Rockruff. I can find a Rockruff pretty easily with 4 Nest, and the 4 Ultra Ball and 4, you know, whatever. We're good to go. Turn 1 Lily is broken with that as well. You just like Lily for 8, and then you just draw more cards, and you're good to go. It's really, really good. Like I said, with the 4 Nest and 4 Upgrades, you basically don't have to discard as much resources. So turn 1, I get, you know, I get the Rockruff, I get the energy, and then turn 2, his turn he benches a bunch of Pokemon. I'm like, okay, so then, and then he benches like Zoroark and stuff. So I guess he plays like 1 Buzzwole GX, like maybe the mirror to help out, I guess is what I'm thinking. And so my turn, we're able to, like, I think he like knocks out the Zoroark in the active spot, which is fine, because then we promote the Rockruff, attach DC, and just like GX it, and then he's down to 4. I think he plays B string, because he did discard 1, so I knew he played B string. I didn't know how many he needed, so I was kind of scared he would B string to the Buzzwole, but he didn't. And once he didn't do that, we were able to knock out his Zoroark, whatever, and that's a pretty easy matchup from there. We were able to set up our guys up early pretty quickly. We had double like Rockruffs as well. Like with this deck, you play like 4-3 Lycanroc, and then like 3 Guzma or 2 Guzma, so you're able to bring up Pokemon with the bench pretty easily as well, which is always nice to knock out his Rockruffs, which is pretty much the only threat to us. So game 1 we win pretty easily, and then game 2 we did the same thing. We go for the turn 1 Rockruff, touch energy to it, and then his turn I think his game 2 he didn't find like a Rockruff turn 1, so he can like go for like the I'm gonna Bloodthirsty Eyes your Rockruff play. So what we would end up doing is his Rockruff didn't have energy on it, and I was kind of scared because he plays like multi-switch, he can power up his Lycanroc out of nowhere, but instead I would bring up his Buzzwole and GX it to knock it out, and then from there he really couldn't find anything. Then I'd pick off his Rockruffs, because his Zoroarks aren't really threatening me too much. I really don't care about his Zoroarks too much as well. So we win the game 2-0 pretty easily. Next up we play against a Duskmane Magnemite, Magnezone deck, I guess, not Magnemite. But once again, like I said, we're playing a 4-3 Lycanroc, we are playing 2 Guzmas, and so essentially what we do is we just pick on his Magnemites. I don't think either game he got really set up, and every time he dropped a Magnemite, we were just immediately just like, we had so many ways to gust it up, and it's not good for him. And then he would like take a prize. I think game 1 he lost like fairly quickly. Game 2 game 1 my first round opponent he would scoop within like 3 turns because he knew it was pretty much over. But the game 2 was pretty much the same way. He could have scooped, but then like you're in the situation of like you have to play it out kind of thing. But he definitely did the right thing by scooping during game number 1, because you want to conserve time just in case you do win game 2. But during our second round, playing against it does make Magnezone, like I said, and every time he dropped a Magnemite, we just blew it up, so it was fine. It was very easy. I mean, if he had double Magnemites, then maybe it's a little different story, obviously. But I know turn 1 on his side, he would Steven Resolve, and then instead of going for the Lily play, I went for Lele Judge, and Judge him down to 4. He did find a Cynthia, but he was not able to find the Rare Candy Magnezone the following turn, and then I think we were able to take out his Magnemite the following turn. I think we got very, very lucky, and we found like the DC Lycanroc to bring up his guy for 0 cards in our hand after the Judge for 4, so we were able to pick off a Magnemite, and then from there he really couldn't get set up. So we would beat that 2-0 pretty easily. Like I said, if they get the Magnezone out, then maybe it's a little problematic because they play like Rabumbi, and then you really can't do 190 unless they overcommit on the bench, but then you only have 1 GX attack, so it's really not that well. It's either you do play 3 Scorched Earth, so you can get rid of their Mount Cornets. But outside of that, I don't know, it's a weird matchup for sure. If they don't get more than 1 Magnemite, then you just win. Oh my goodness, it's so dark, I'm sorry guys. I would turn the light on, but then that's crazy talk. You have to listen to me talk instead. And then round number 3, we play against a Baby Buzzwole Garbodor Shrine deck. Now my list does play 3 Devour Fields to try to counter the Shrines, and like I said, we do play Kukui and Devour Fields and what else? Devour Field, and then we just play Deontay with Lycanroc, and then Ace Rolla. So that it's a very back and forth matchup still, and they can struggle. Game 1 we would take it. Game 2 he would take it. I think he got like a Sledgehammer turn off, unfortunately, to take it to knockout, which I think was definitely the swing in his favor, which it does happen. But when you activate Sledgehammer turn, you want to have a Lycanroc in the active and not a Zoroark. But even then, they play 4 Guzma, and they can bring Pokemon off the bench. So that's a little problematic. And then you just have to be conservative, like what you discard. My list play 2 stretchers, so what you can do is you could trade away your Pokemon, you could trade away your supporter cards, and then keep your item cards in your hand, so a Garbodor really doesn't do anything. And if you could do that and survive past the 4th turn, then they really only have, like, their Garbodors, really, because, like, Buzzwole really doesn't do too much. Oh, I remember his last turn of Game 2, he hit, like, I'm pretty sure he hit, like, Beast Energy, Choice Band, and Guzma to knock out a Zoroark on the bench. So that's how he would win that one, unfortunately. The Game 3 would go to time, but we did prize 4 DCEs. I think if you have time right now, you might be able to see it, unless it's later in the day when you watch this. But I think you have like until like 3 or 4 Central Standard Time. But on my Snapchat, I actually posted game number 3. We prized 4 DCEs, so we'd probably lose that one. So a lot of time was called, I guess. But Shrine is definitely a match I still want to play against. Maybe we play more Acerolas, maybe play a 4th Devoured Field. It's probably not that needed because they have to draw into their shrines, which they do play 4. I'll give them that. They play 4, we play the 3. Maybe we'll play a Rangaroo to get back our Devoured Fields, and then we have more chances of drawing to them or something like that. But right now the list doesn't include a Rangaroo. It's still very early. I literally built the deck while waiting at the card shop, or like waiting for, like I was like asking people to borrow Great Balls, and I asked to borrow Rockruffs because I didn't have all the Rockruffs. I was still playing corner ones, just in case. But 70 HP is obviously 100% better, just because it has 10 more HP. But I think the deck is really strong. Like I said, you can take down Rayquaza decks, and that's what I was trying to find around number 3 was Rayquaza. But either way, I got double down paired, so I was going to get 2nd place no matter what, even if I won that match. And the other undefeated won. There was 3 undefeateds after 2 rounds, and I got double paired down. The other 2, you know, they got paired against each other, so it didn't matter if I won or if I won my game, because I was going to get 2nd because I got double paired down, so my resistance wasn't that well. But we'll still take it. 2nd place, plus 12 points. We're at 97 right now. We're slowly getting there. 97 out of whatever. I don't know how much it is. Like 450, 500, 400, whatever. We're going to get there, hopefully. Like, we're at 97 already, and the season hasn't even been a month yet, if I remember correctly. So we're doing fairly well. We're going to hit up another challenge in 2 cups as well. But let's go. Okay, sorry. Let's talk about the matchups for this deck, right? That's what you want to hear, right? So against like Rayquaza, you can hit 180 fairly easily, because with Devoured Field plus Kukui and Choice Band, you actually do 180 to one-shot Rayquazas, which is really cool. And then also, what you do against Rayquazas, if they only have 1 Grubbin, then you definitely just like Guzma or Bloodthirsty Eyes it up, which is very nice. And then also, they go for the turn 2 Rare Candy Vigavolt, and then they don't have another Grubbin or something, you can still just knock it out with the Lycanroc. What I always like trying to do is get the turn 1 fighting energy on a Lycanroc or Rockruff, and that way you're threatening a Bloodthirsty Eyes dangerous rogue turn whenever you want to, which is really cool. Remember, you can Vigavolt is weak to fighting, obviously, because he's a lightning. So if you can knock out their only Vigavolt and then they can't power up their guys, then you're usually in a good spot as well. And then if they just put 1 down, you just gust it up and take a knockout. And you, like I said, you get 2 other Rayquazas, you can one-shot them with Devoured Fields. Against this Shrine deck, like I said, you play the 3 Devoured Fields, you play one Acerola right now, 1 Palpad, maybe you play 2 Acerola. The list is fairly new, like I said. Maybe you could have Stretcher as well, but I do like trading with my Pokemon that Stretcher back on the deck late game. Let's see what else is out there. Any set of decks, like any deck that has to have like a guy, like I said, the Magnezone deck, you kind of target them down, which is very nice. Against other Zoroark decks, you probably have a shaky matchup against Gliscod because Lycanroc is weak to grass, unfortunately, so they can one-shot you. Zoroark Lucario is probably interesting as well. You probably would end up losing that one. The Malamar decks you should easily beat, because most of the decks are weak to Dark. With the Malamar, unless you play an Ultra Necrozma, you can't do 190, unfortunately. That's one thing you can't do with the deck, unless you go for Dangerous Rogue. Which is one of the reasons why I like Lucario just a little bit better. But with all the Buzzwole Shrine going around, you really can't play Lucario, unfortunately. But if the Buzzwole decks do down, the Buzzwole Shrine Garb decks, if they do slow down, then Lucario becomes like probably the best. Lucario becomes the best Zoroark deck 100%. But right now, since that's happening, I would definitely play Lycanroc And if you expect Lycanroc to get on the rise, then you can maybe counter Gliscod. I don't know. But like I said, the list is down below. It's pretty vanilla. It's pretty standard, like 4-4, like I said, Zoroark, 4-3 Lycanroc, 2 Devourfield, a Deontay, 2 Lele. Like, there's nothing like spooky in the deck besides the 4 Great Ball. And people are going to say that's bad, and people are going to say I don't know how to play Pokemon. But to all those guys who say I don't know how to play Pokemon on PTCGO, right now, 3 out of the 4 tournaments this year, we've gotten points. So I just want to say that at least. But yeah, there we go, guys. There's my little rant about what happened today. Check out Zoroark Lycanroc. I think it's very strong. I think it's very good. And like I said, I like the deck a lot. We got 11th place at it at North Carolina. We've won a cup with it. Like I've done fairly well with Zoroark Lycanroc, and I'll just continue playing the deck right now.